Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Colleen. I'm with Shine On Yoga. I have Fritz joining us today, and we have Sam. If you have any pets or kids, it's perfectly fine to have them join. You might even get to use them as a prop, maybe. If you have practiced with me before, then welcome back. If you are new here, then welcome. You won't need necessarily any props, but if you like to use some, the ones that I would have nearby are blocks, bolsters, and blankets. And again, if you don't have any of those things, don't worry about it. You don't necessarily need them. All right, we are going to go ahead and start on our mats. We're actually going to go ahead and come down to all fours. If you have sensitive knees at all, then bring a blanket or you can fold your mat up, anything just to pad your knees. I'm going to try and move Sam here out of the way. All right, there we go. All right, so once you're in all fours, go ahead and bring your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Take a nice big inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll sink our hips back towards our heels. Walk those fingertips forward. Let your head and your heart melt into the mat. And we're just going to start out in extended child's pose. We're going to take some time to breathe here and to just relax. So take some nice big inhales and exhales. Just tuning inward. And then while you are in extended child's pose, I'm going to just read the card that I pulled for you guys today. And the card that I pulled is Skunk Spirit, and its message is to know your worth. Not everyone will appreciate you. Many people have issues of their own to address, and you may trigger something in them. But if so, no matter. Skunk Spirit calls you to be fully yourself without apology. Now is the time for honesty and admitting that something does not sit right for you. You deserve the self-respect that comes when you courageously choose to stand up for yourself and speak your truth in love. Remember who you are and what really matters to you and act with integrity. You will be so glad that you did. All right. Take a few more big inhales and exhales in your extended child's pose. And after your next exhale, we'll go ahead and rise back up to all fours. Bring your knees underneath those hip points, hands underneath shoulders, back nice and straight. Looking down, and we're going to warm up the spine with a little cat-cow. Again, if you've practiced with me before, you know I like cat-cow. If you haven't and you don't know what I'm talking about, then I'll break it down for you a little bit. So as we inhale, we're going to drop those lower ribs, lift our tail, lift our chest, looking forward. You're going to feel a nice big stretch in this front body. And then as we exhale, we're going to reverse that. We're going to round through the spine, dropping the head, dropping the tail, really pressing away from the mat. Think Black Halloween cat. And when we inhale, we'll reverse that again, coming back into cow. So go ahead and do a few more rounds just on your own inhales and exhales. And if one of these poses feels really great to you, if maybe being in cow feels awesome, stay in that for a few breaths. You don't have to move at my same pace. Apologies for the squeaking. Someone is playing. It happens. If you can hear that, I don't know. All right, after your next round, go ahead and bring it back to stillness and take a look down at your hands. I'm actually going to walk forward a little bit on my mat. So we're going to look down at our hands and we're going to replace our hands with our elbows. Keep your arms in like a parallel train track, 2 number 11s here, or 2 ones, a number 11. There's not 2, unless you have 4 arms, maybe. All right, let's keep our arms where they are. Walk those knees back. Let your chest and your head melt forward, kind of like we did in that extended child's pose, except this time our butt is in the air. Going into puppy pose. Imagine puppies when they play and they kind of get down. We're doing the same thing. Take a nice big breath. This is really going to stretch out your armpit and chest area. Take another big inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to let it go. Walk the knees back in. We'll come back up to our tabletop position. Take a moment here to breathe. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring our knees back as wide as the mat once again. Big toes to touch. We'll take our right hand and place it towards the center of our mat. And then we're going to take our left hand and we're just going to bring that across our chest, reaching up towards the sky. Nice big breath. Thank you for the hearts. And then we're going to take our left hand, we're going to thread it underneath our right arm and come on to our left ear. So just a nice stretch in your back. You can use your right hand on the ground to kind of press away a little bit. Take a moment here to breathe and feel that stretch in your back. From there, we'll go ahead and press ourselves back up to our tabletop position. We'll bring our left palm in towards the center of our mat. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. So right hand is going to reach across the body and up towards the sky. Nice big inhale, and on the exhale, we'll thread the needle on the opposite side, bringing the outer edge of our ear, shoulder, all of that to the mat. Take a moment here to breathe and to feel that stretch. Take one more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll come back up to center. Knees back in line with the hips. Take a moment here to breathe. And then when you're ready, look down at your hands. If they are right underneath your shoulder, that's fine, but we're going to walk them one handprint in front of where they were. Curl the toes under, take a nice big inhale, and then on your exhale, press away from the mat, press up through the knees. We're going to lift our hips up and back, straight through the legs. It's okay if your heels don't touch the mat. Really press away. Breathe here. Downward facing dog. You can walk your dog by bending one knee and then the other, just kind of getting a little stretch in those calf muscles. Or you can just be in stillness, or you can do some combination of the two, whatever feels right to you. Let your head grow heavy though. Really press away from the mat. If you feel any crankiness in your wrists, press into your thumb, your pointer, and your middle finger to alleviate some of that pressure. Let's take one more breath here. Then as we exhale, you can sigh it out, maybe shake your head, make it audible. We're going to look up towards the top of our mat, and we're going to make our way all the way up to the top. So you can take baby steps, you can take big steps, you can hop, jump, float, fly maybe, whatever sounds good to you. We're just going to come up to the top. Knees slightly bent. We're coming into a forward fold. Now on an inhale, we are going to raise up halfway. Take a nice flat back here, kind of feel it out. You're going to feel your hamstrings stretch. And then on your exhale, let it go. Let your head hang heavy, let your arms hang heavy. It's okay if they don't touch the ground. You can always use blocks here to bring the floor up to you. If you don't have blocks, just bend your knees as generously as you'd like. The more bent they are, the more you're going to feel it in your lower back. The straighter they are, the more you're going to feel it in your hamstrings. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Take one more big inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to roll it all the way up to standing. We're going to come in to a mountain pose. Now, once you get up to standing, take a moment, adjust any clothes, shake out the hands, shake out the feet, do whatever you need to do so that way when you come into stillness, you can just really be in stillness and you're not wanting to mess with everything, your hair, whatever. Thank you for the hearts again on the live. All right, once you are ready, just pick up your feet a couple times, really feel the ground underneath the soles of your feet. You can dig your toes into the mat, just really feel that foot to earth connection. And then once you feel that, we're going to stand up nice and straight and tall. You can roll those shoulders back and down, chest nice and lifted, head forward, hands at your side, palms forward. Take a few breaths here just in stillness. Sometimes it can help to focus on a singular point that's not moving. Some people like to close their eyes. Whatever works for you. We're going to take one more big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And then on your next inhale, let's reach for the sky. On our exhale, we're going to bend at our hips, bend in the knees as we forward fold all the way back down to the mat, coming in to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take a few moments here to breathe. After your next exhale, make sure your hands are firmly planted on the mat. So if you are using blocks, bend those knees, let your hands find the mat. We're going to step one foot back and then the other, coming into a plank pose. Really press away from the mat. Now, if plank is not for you, come down to your knees, come into a half plank. It's perfectly fine. Or play with both today. We're going to come to plank a few times. We won't be here long. Keep breathing. Make sure your hips are dipping down. Make sure they're not clear up here. One long straight line. Really press through those heels if you're up in full plank. One more big inhale. Exhale, let's lower all the way down to the belly. Untuck those toes. Let the top of the feet come to the mat. Release your head. Take a breath. We're going to walk our hands underneath our shoulders. Take your elbows, instead of letting them flare out, pin them to your side, to your sides. And on an inhale, we're just going to lift our forehead up and look just straight ahead. Coming into a little baby cobra, warming up our upper back. We'll have a chance later to grow our cobra, so we're just starting out small. For my experienced yogis out there. One more breath here. And then exhale, we'll let the forehead kiss the mat. All right, I'll meet you in a tabletop position. We're going to move back into that downward facing dog, so retuck the toes, take a breath. And when you're ready, we're going to lift those hips up and back, straighten through the legs, downward facing dog. Again, you can walk your dog, you can be in stillness, Whatever feels great to you today, take that. Keep breathing. All right, from here, make sure that left foot is firmly planted into the mat. On your next inhale, lift those right toes off the ground. Now keep your leg in line with your hips. Your foot doesn't need to be clear up here or anything. Just right in line with the hips, toes dialed down. Take a breath. On your exhale, we're going to bring that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward, and then we're just going to step that right foot in between our hands. Go ahead and lower onto that left knee. Toes can be tucked or untucked, yogi's choice. Coming into a low lunge. This right leg in front should be at a nice 90-degree angle. And when you look down, you should be able to see your big toe. If you can't, press that knee out towards the outer edge of your mat. Now from here, our upper body, we don't want to be collapsed. So go ahead and lift that chest up, look forward, pull that right hip crease back, left hip crease forward. Again, you can always use blocks here, or if you don't have blocks, maybe just rise up a little bit higher, and you can rest your palms on your thigh. So find your position, take a breath here for a few breaths. Now, wherever you're at, go ahead and plant that left palm onto the mat. We're going to take our right hand and, again, bring it across our body like we did in that thread the needle earlier. And we're just going to reach up towards the sky, taking a nice twist here. Keep pulling that right hip crease back. Keep breathing. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower that right hand down to the mat. And from here, start to straighten through that right leg. We're going to walk it back, peel those right toes up off the mat. Look forward, stretching out those hamstrings. Keep breathing here. One more big inhale. Then exhale, we'll walk it back forward. Go ahead and tuck those left toes under, lift the left knee up. We'll step our right foot back to meet the left. We're back in plank or lower to half plank. Take a few breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat, to the belly. Your next inhale will rise up into baby cobra. If you'd like to grow your cobra, really press your hands into the mat, and we're going to rise up. Now, if you are in a higher cobra and you feel any crunchiness in your back, lower down a little bit. You don't have to come up as high. Also, if you're sinking into your shoulders like this, we're going to pull those shoulder blades back, really shine your heart center forward. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. No shoulder earrings today. And again, you can always lower down. You don't have to be so high up if it's not in your body just yet. You can work towards it. Keep breathing wherever you're at in your cobra. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower it back down. All right. We are moving to a downward facing dog. You can either go through all fours up to your downward dog, or you can come with me. I'm going to show you another variation. But we're all going to meet in the same spot. So if you're coming with me, go ahead and tuck those toes under. Keep your hands where they are underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and pull those elbows in. Take a nice big inhale. And then on your exhale, we're going to press away from the mat, come up to the top of plank. Take another breath in. And then on our exhale, we're going to lift our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. We have a whole nother side to do that we'll move through a little bit faster now that we know where we're going. All right, when you're ready, plant that right foot onto the mat. On an inhale, we're going to lift those left toes up. Again, keep them dialed down. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. On your exhale, we'll bend that knee in towards our chest, shift forward, look forward, and then we'll step the left foot in between the hands, lower down onto the right knee. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Low lunge. Pull that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Make sure you can see your big toe, 90-degree angle. Chest lifted. Breathe. I think that's everything. From here, we'll plant our right palm down. We're going to reach our left arm across our body and up towards the sky. Feel a nice big twist here. Breathe. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower our left hand down towards the mat. Let's start to walk it back into our hamstring stretch on the left side. Peel those left toes up. Keep looking forward. Keep pulling that left hip crease back. Keep breathing. One more breath here. And then exhale, we'll walk it back forward. All right, time for another plank. So we'll tuck those right toes under, lift that right knee up. We'll step our left foot back. Plank once again. Take a few breaths. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll lower all the way back down to the mat. Next inhale, rise up into your version of cobra. Take a few breaths here. You can also, just while you're in that cobra, if your hands are too narrow right underneath your shoulders, you can walk them out a bit and just tense your fingers, and then you can rise up that way too. One more big inhale here. And then exhale, we'll lower it down, and I will meet you in downward facing dog. Go through all fours or your plank, whatever feels great to you. But we're all going to meet there. Take some nice big breaths once you make it to your downward facing dog. We're going to get off the wrist for a moment in just a little bit. On your next inhale, look forward at your hands. We're going to make our way up to the top of the mat. We're going to come back into that forward fold again. So a few steps or a big step or maybe a hop. Once you make it there, on your next inhale, we'll come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Take some nice big breaths here. All right, wherever you're at, plant those palms. We're going to step one foot back and then the other. We're back in plank. We're turning on the heat now. Take some nice big breaths here. If you've been trying half plank, maybe try full plank. Or if you know that's not your body, just stay in your half plank. One more big inhale. And then on the exhale, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale, side out. And we're going to go into our second flow now. So we'll make sure our left foot is firmly planted into the mat. We're gonna lift our right foot up on an inhale. Again, keep those toes dialed down. On your exhale, we'll shift forward, look forward, bend that knee in towards our chest. Then we'll step that right foot in between our hands. Your back left foot, go ahead and pivot on it a little bit. So it's at a 45-degree angle and it's facing towards your left corner of the mat. Feet should be on parallel train tracks, not on a tightrope. And when you're ready, engage your core. We're going to rise all the way up and we're going to look at the side of our mat here. Now we're coming into a warrior two, so let's just set it up. You might have to adjust your feet depending on where you landed, and that's okay. So this right front leg, we want this in a 90-degree angle. It's okay if this thigh is not parallel to the floor. I would have to shoot my leg clear out like that, and then I'm not stable. So we don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you're nice and stable. The left foot, again, it's going to be on that 45-degree angle. Make sure that you're pressing into that knife edge of that foot. So your arch is still going to be on the ground, but it's going to not be digging into the ground as much as that knife edge of the foot is. When you look at your front foot, you should be able to see your big toe just like we did in our low lunge. And again, you might have to adjust your stance. So maybe a super wide stance isn't for you. Maybe a smaller stance is better. So get your foundation set. From here, hands can be on the waist. You can have them at prayer, or imagine that you are pinching a pencil or a pen, your favorite writing utensil, in between your shoulder blades. Reach those arms out to either side. Now, if you are reaching them out to either side, make sure you're not drifting too far forward and you're not falling back. Nice and center here, nice center line. And then if your arms are stretched out, you can look over your right hand. Take a few breaths here, warrior two. Keep your hands where they are. We're going to straighten through the front leg. Drop your left hand down, reach that right arm up and back. Reverse triangle. Make sure you're not coming forward. You want to keep your chest nice and lifted to the sky. Breathe here. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we're going to bend through that right leg. Go ahead and cartwheel it all back down to the mat. You can spin on that left foot, going back into your lunge. We'll plant our palms, step the feet back, plank again. Take a few breaths. One more big inhale. And then exhale, lower to the belly again. Inhaling up for cobra. Take a few breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale, lower it back down, and I'll meet you back in downward facing dog again. If you're feeling some heat in the body, inhale through your nose. And then as you exhale, exhale out the mouth and stick out your tongue. They call that lion's breath, but it is also a really great way to release heat from your body. All right, let's go on to side two. So we'll plant our right foot down. We're going to lift those left toes up, keep them in line with the hip. As you exhale, we'll shift forward, look forward. We'll step that left foot in between our palms. We'll pivot on the right foot. Go ahead and get your base set up for your warrior two. And then once you feel pretty good about it, go ahead and rise all the way up. And then make any adjustments that you need. So that way you feel stable. I apologize, my back is to you guys. You can see it from another angle now. All right, so once you feel good where you're at, then go ahead and choose your hand positions. And we'll take a moment here to breathe in our warrior two. Feeling nice and strong. This is a strong practice today. One more big inhale. We'll straighten through that left leg. We'll drop our right hand, lift our left arm up to the sky, reverse triangle. Take some nice big breaths here. Feel a nice big stretch through the left side body. One more big inhale. And then exhale, we'll cartwheel it all the way back down, coming into our low lunge, pivoting on that right foot. We're going into our very last plank. So we'll step it back, we'll make our way to that plank. If you've been in half plank the whole time, maybe try full plank, just for this one last final round. One more breath. And we'll lower to the belly, taking our cobra. Take a few breaths here. Lower back down, and I'll meet you in our final downward facing dog. You can take a lion's breath here, you can shake your head. We're going to start cooling it down in a minute. Your next inhale, look up towards the top of your mat. We're going to make our way back up there one final time. Coming into one last forward fold. Next inhale, come up halfway flat back. Exhale, let it go. Take some nice big breaths here. Now, from where you're at, you can plant your palms if you'd like. Walk your feet as wide as the mat and let your toes fall off the edges. From here, you can start to sink your center down. We're going to come into a yogic squat. Now, this is not going to be necessarily, I will say, accessible in everyone's body, but that's okay. If you can go into your squat. So if you're here, that's okay. You can be here, you can be here. You can even, if you have a couple blocks, you can even come to sit on them. So take your option, listen to your body. Don't try to, I guess, do exactly what I'm doing because my body's different than your body. Listen to your body. That's how you avoid injury. So if you are able to get low, I like to kind of work my hips back and forth until I can get down low. And my feet are flat on the floor, but if you can't get your feet flat on the floor, up on your toes, perfectly fine. Again, listen to your body. If you're down here with me, you can bring your palms to prayer. You can take your elbows, press them in between your knees, and really press out. You have that opposing force between your knees and your elbows. As you keep your chest nice and lifted, you're going to feel a really big hip opener here. Again, if that's not for you, you can be up here and then maybe just bend one shoulder in and then the other to get kind of the same sensation, I would say. So we'll take a few breaths here. I know I've been talking. If you've been in this, I'm sorry. This seems like such an easy posture, but it's not. It can be very hard because we sit a lot, our muscles get tight in our hips and our hamstrings. This is great to counterbalance that. So even if you could do this once a day or a little bit every day, even if you can't get down here, you will eventually start to feel that opening. If you do a lot of hip openers, you will probably be cranky and grumpy because we store a lot of emotions in our hips, a lot of anger, a lot of just stuff, and it gets stuck there. So by opening this opens up that channel, so sometimes things come out. So if you're doing this and afterwards you start yelling at everyone, I'm sorry, but not really, because it needs to come out. All right, so wherever you're at, we are going to make our way to the floor. So if you're down here with me, what I like to do is just take one hand behind me and then the other, and then I just can sit down. Pretty easy. If that doesn't work for you, find a good way to get down to the mat. We're going to come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Take a breath here. Letting all of that go that we just did. No matter how you did, it's okay. If that's new to you and that was really difficult, it's okay. It's a practice. You don't have to nail it today. All right, let's do one final twist. So I'm going to take my left hand and just place it on my right knee. Right fingers are going to come around behind me. On an inhale, let's sit up nice and straight and tall. And then on our exhale, we're going to twist towards our right. Now don't use that left hand to pull yourself over. It's just there for support. So as you inhale, you'll just sit up. And then as you exhale, maybe you journey a little bit further into that twist. Or maybe you don't, and that's okay. Again, listen to your body. Only push past your point of comfort. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, return to center, take a breath, feel both sides. See how you feel. Let's go to the other side. Right hand to left knee. Left fingers are going to come around behind us. Inhale, we'll sit up nice and straight and tall. And then exhale, we'll journey into the twist on the left side. Take some nice big breaths here. And after your next exhale, we'll return to center. When you're ready, we're going to make our way to our backs finally. I'm going to spin around on my mat again. We're going to come to our back. Oh, I felt a bunch of pops. That felt good. And then once you get there, just give your knees a little hug. Squeeze those knees in towards your chest. Take a few breaths here. You might feel a nice stretch on your back. You might rock a little bit on your spine as you breathe. And when you're ready, we're going to bring our head up towards our knees. Squeeze everything. Make everything tight. Come into fist. Ball up your feet. Squeeze your face. Or scrunch your face. Squeeze everything. Just squeeze it all in, squeeze it all in, squeeze it all in. And then we're going to let it all go. Let your feet fall to the mat. Let them fall out and away. Let your hands fall out wide. Take up space. Let everything go. As we move into our final posture, Shavasana, or the corpse pose. And we're going to take a moment to let our practice marinate in our body, feeling that energy move through everything. If you like to use props for your Shavasana, you're more than welcome to grab those and get yourself set up. If you don't have anything or you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just hang out here with me on the mat, on the floor. That's really all you need. If it feels safe in your body, you can close down the eyes. If it does not feel safe, then just soften your gaze. We're going to take a moment here in gratitude for ourselves for showing up today and doing the practice. Give gratitude to our bodies for all of the work that they do for us every single day. Some of it we don't even think about. And we're just going to take a moment to release the practice so that way we can move on with our day with confidence and ease, feeling a bit stronger, maybe more energized. I am going to go quiet here for a moment, just so you have time to go inward. But know that I am here, I'm holding space for you, and I will guide you out of this final posture shortly. If you would like to stay in Shavasana for longer, stay as long as time allows you. If you need to return to your day, then slowly start to deepen your breaths. When you feel ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, bringing some movement back into them. And whenever you feel ready, you can place one foot on the mat and then the other. Keep your knees bent for just a moment. Whenever you feel ready, go ahead and roll to your favorite side and come into a little fetal position. Just hang out there for a moment. Take some nice deep breaths as you reintegrate back into the room around you. Finally, whenever you feel ready, I invite you to come back up into your comfortable seat. Bring your head and neck up last. If your eyes are still closed, you can blink them open to the room around you, taking everything back in. All right, well, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me for this class today. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you have more energy or you feel looser and just better overall, so that way you can tackle whatever else this day has for you and whatever else is coming up this week. Thank you so much to those of you on the live that joined me. I apologize, I'm kind of far back. I can't always see the comments, and because I'm doing the practice with you, I can't stop, but I do look at them. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. For those of you on the live that are new, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Shine On Yoga LLC. The link for that is in my bio. And all of the practices I've ever done are on that channel. They are completely free. So if you are interested in that, please check that out. This practice will be on there probably early next week. I try and get it uploaded there by Sunday, Monday at the latest, just depending on my schedule. But if you subscribe, you'll of course get notified. Again, if that's something you're interested in, no pressure. For those of you on the replay on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. If you like this video, if you could like it, share it with someone that you think would enjoy it. If there's anything that you want to work on or practice on, you can leave it in the comments and I'll see that. I can try to incorporate that into future practices. And just for announcements, next week I should be here live again. In 2 weeks I will not be, but next week so far, unless something changes, I should be. So if you enjoyed this, I hope to see you back next week. Otherwise, I will see you another time. I think that's it. So thank you guys, all of you, so much again. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Namaste.